When we think our lower back is weak, it's often because we're feeling pain or stiffness in that area. This pain can be the result of several different issues, including weak core muscles like the erector spinae, glutes, and overly tight hip flexors. These are muscles we can strengthen right here at home. Just before we go any further, I'd like to say a quick thank you to everyone who has supported this channel to the 50,000 subscriber mark. It has been great to talk to so many of you in the comments, and some of you have gotten to know quite well as we connect almost every week. So once again, thank you. So as I was saying about glutes and hip flexors, they play a role in low back pain. And if you're someone who sits for most of the day, then your hip flexors are sure to be tight. A good stretch for the hip flexors is the lunge stretch, where you kneel on the floor in the lunge position. You want your front foot ahead of your knee so that as you press forward and down, your knee doesn't go over your toes. If you don't have your foot far enough in front of you, it takes away from the intensity of the stretch. The other thing you have to watch for is to keep your torso square or at 90 degrees to your legs. You can ensure you are properly aligned if your back leg is parallel with your front leg. You hold this stretch anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. You can do this stretch post-workout or on its own after sitting all day. Stretching your hip flexors is only part of the equation. In order to keep our hip flexors properly elongated, we need to strengthen the antagonist muscle, which is our glutes. An exercise I get my clients to do as part of the warm-up to engage the glutes is glute bridges. Depending on what level you're at, you may be able to use them as part of your main workout. A glute bridge works your entire core with the emphasis on the glutes, hamstrings, and erector spinae. Perform this exercise at a slow, steady pace, pausing briefly at the top, and squeeze your glutes. Repeat for 10 to 15 reps. A variation that's also great for a warm-up is the frog bridge. I feel this one even more in my glutes, and as a bonus, I get a stretch in my hip flexors when I'm in that top position. It is done very much like the glute bridge, except that your knees are spread apart while you do the exercise. To advance a glute bridge, it can be done one leg at a time, or you can elevate your feet for a greater range of motion. And finally, you can combine them, doing a single leg variation with your feet elevated. Supermans are another great exercise for the posterior chain. Typically, I'll hold this one for time. For regressions, you can just raise up the front half of your body or the back half. It doesn't take a lot of weight to advance this move either. A small dumbbell or a couple of books will make a big difference. There's a band variation where you combine the Superman with a shoulder press. And when you do this, you'll feel your lower back contracting harder in order to counteract the pressing movement. If you have a bench at home, you can use it to get a greater range of motion by doing back hyperextensions and reverse hypers. For reverse hyperextensions, just lay with your belly on the bench, having the edge of the bench at your waist. Then lower your legs until your feet almost touch the floor and raise them back up again for reps. You'll feel this movement more in your glutes and hamstrings. You can use ankle weights to add resistance or a dumbbell. To do hyperextensions, just turn around and lay on the bench with your upper body hanging past the bench. Again, the edge of the bench should be just below where your waist bends. I put my legs around the bench, then hook my heels underneath. You may have to add some weight to the back side of the bench to counterbalance, especially if you're using some added resistance like a few books or a dumbbell. For more exercises you can do at home to strengthen your glutes, watch this video next. This way, we can keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.